Thanks for joining us on the show today. Please give a big warm welcome to my guest, Bryan Loweree. Bryan is a touring singer-songwriter, and he beautifully crafts lyrics and music. They resonate with listeners. He has a unique ability to put life crossroads into lyrics and communicate that to his listeners. So welcome, Bryan. I'm so glad you're
Yeah,
here.
thanks for having me.
It's exciting to have you. So
Thank
let's
you.
talk a little bit. One crossroad I know that you went through and walked down early on. You started coming to Nashville, I believe, on occasion to get your music out here, and you were based somewhere else. So
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about that journey, because, and especially how you started in music and then got to the point where you were like, hey, I need to go be in Nashville.
yeah. I started playing drums when I was 10 years old. I grew up in California, and so music had been a part of my life from a really young age. And fast forward to college, I moved to North Dakota, to Jamestown, North Dakota. And I was a kicker on the football
I
team.
was like, wait, how'd you end up in
Yeah,
North
yeah.
Dakota?
I managed to convince a small school to give me money to go to college, so
Love
that
it.
was nice. Uh, and then that's where I met my wife, Brittany. But I didn't make music like a priority. It was never a major of mine. I was a business major, but I always played music and guitar in the background, and after class and practice and stuff, and um, played in cover bands after college. And then in 2012, I actually moved to Nashville, left Brittany behind in Fargo, North Dakota, and we were like, "We'll figure it out." We didn't break up. We're like, "We'll
Wow.
figure it out. I'm going to
Yeah.
move down here and chase this thing." Uh,
So y'all were still dating.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and I moved down here and it was in the first week. I had a gig, and within the first week, I got fired. And so,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Wait.
So Crossroads, threw
Yeah,
another one in there.
because that could have easily you didn't have anybody here,
No,
right?
I had a couple
And
friends, acquaintances, that friends of friends. Yeah,
you had a girlfriend who you adored,
yeah,
who was not here,
yep.
and then you get fired from a gig. I would imagine that was a hard one to go,
Yeah.
time to pack up and go
Well,
back.
my roommate, my buddy Jeff, was like, "Welcome to Nashville." uh,
Okay. Oh my gosh. So
yeah,
can we just sit in that for a second?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
that is a really good lesson
yeah.
for anyone in any job in life, but especially in the music industry, whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
that, maybe is that just kind of maybe an initiation into, hey, you've always got to lose a gig in order
Yeah,
to make it.
yeah, and I think it speaks a lot to my wife, Brittany, too, because I called her on this Sunday morning. I was driving back to the house after getting dropped off from the shows, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know what to do." I was upset, in tears, like I
Yeah.
felt like I left her down, let her down, and moving away and
Yeah.
getting fired right away. And she's like, "Well, you're there, figure it out." And so those were her exact words. And so I was like, "All right, we're gonna figure it out." And then I stayed down there another 6 months and got offered a gig to be a front man for a band back in Fargo that was like a regional touring country band. And then I did that for 7 years, 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And then
Oh my word. Okay, so you lose the gig you thought you were going to have that was going to do it for you in Nashville. You get a
yeah,
gig back home
yep,
that ends up being a great thing for 7 years.
yeah. It was great because I moved down to Nashville initially as a drummer who like sang harmonies. That was kind
Okay.
of my thing. I was like, maybe if I play drums and like I can sing harmonies, that might fast track me to a good drumming gig or something,
Yeah.
or a frontman spot eventually. Uh, But I took this gig back in Fargo with a band called 32 Below, and I did that for 7.5 years, and it was great. I got to cut my teeth as a front man,
Mhm.
uh, learn how to do a show and run a show and be
Wow.
in a band, and more importantly, a business, and keep it afloat. And so that was a challenge because I took over a spot from a guy like the original lead singer had left,
Mhm.
and I filled in. So it was a kind of big shoes to fill, fill in a front man
That would
spot
be
of a band that had been
intimidating.
popular already.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
that
wait, did your business degree come in handy?
no,
No.
no, no, no.
Okay, I just
Uh,
thought, well, maybe.
I wasn't, no. Uh, however, you don't really like learn in my eyes, like you have to really get your hands on to like really
Yeah.
learn stuff. I love my experience in college,
Yeah.
and I learned a lot, but you really don't learn until you actually like, get your hands on something and
That's
actually do
true.
it.
That is true.
Uh, But I learned so much in that band, and when I decided to leave in 2019, That's when I started coming to Nashville to get to your question earlier about coming here and leaving home. Uh, and in about 2021, I think, is when I started making like a consistent 2 weeks in Nashville, 2 weeks in Fargo. Brittany still being back in Fargo, and I would drive down, sometimes do shows on the way down or the way back to Fargo, and I would be here 2 weeks, and I would write 5 or 6 days a week at RCA, and write 2 or 3 days a week, or sorry, two or three times a day. Uh,
Okay, that's dedication. And
yeah,
that's commitment and a lot. And I
yeah,
think sometimes I I'm going to try I don't know how to put this exactly. But it feels like sometimes people look at someone like you, successful touring artist, songwriter, and goes, "Oh, God, it's so easy. Look at that glamorous life." And and they don't see all the years of preparation for it and hard work and your nose
yeah,
of the grindstone and getting it all done
hmm
and then saying, "Okay, this is my dream. This is what I want to do." And it doesn't just I mean, some people get discovered and then you hear about them and it's like, "Oh, all of a sudden." But
yeah,
but there's usually years of work behind that. That
totally,
overnight success, as they
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Is
10
it
years or 20 years of
yeah.
overnight to overnight.
That's really incredible that and that Brittany was there with you all along the
Oh
way,
yeah,
supporting you in all of it. I just
yeah.
that's amazing that y'all have that foundation.
Yeah,
I
and I
love
think I
that.
tell people this a lot when they ask or bring it up, but Brittany used to get asked a lot, like, "How do you do it when Brian's gone?" Or how it must be
Mhm.
really tough, and it is tough being
Mhm.
gone for both people in a relationship. But we started dating before I started playing music for a living,
Mm. Mhm.
or attempting to play music for a living. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like I'd already had a career or been in bands
Yeah.
traveling or touring, and then found a girl I love. Like,
Mhm.
we've been through every up and down from day one,
Yeah.
which is cool. It's like it's not just me making sacrifice being gone; it's
Mhm.
her also. And I think because we've both experienced that from day one has made it, I don't want to say easier, but we both understand like
Yeah.
what our roles are in
It's
our
still
relationship
hard, but
because of that.
how to kind of navigate it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it sounds like
It
because you
doesn't
just
mean
built
it's
that
not hard,
foundation.
but
Yeah.
it's we both kind of know like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. Like, we got
Mhm.
to keep going. Like, we put in work and time to make this happen. So,
I love that.
yeah, yeah.
When did you in all of, so okay, so you came here, drummer,
hmm
trying to be a front man. When do you even know like when the writing part of it came in? Have you always kind of been one of those people that just writes down and loves words and fascinated with that and
No.
melody? Or
uh,
did that come about for another reason?
uh, I was in like AP English in high school, but I was
Oh,
like a C
wow.
student, like a C or a D
Oh,
student. So I wasn't like,
yeah,
I
I'm sure
barely got into
AP.
the good English class. Uh, but uh, that was my first introduction to like really big words, like,
Yeah.
uh, and books that were hard to read. And
That's hilarious.
anyway, so I've never
Mm,
like, it was not a thing from like early on, like obsession or passion about words or lyrics. But
mhm.
um, in college, I started writing. I took my mom's guitar. It was a 12 string, but it only had 6 strings on it. So it had this big fretboard, so it was really easy to play. And I learned, cover songs. Then I started messing around trying to figure out. And we lived in North Dakota, right? So it was like cold. So I wrote a couple songs about freezing your butt off
Snow
and how miserable it is in the winter.
or
And then,
dreaming of summertime.
yeah, right, right.
The
Uh,
beach.
what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
Whatever. And uh, and then when I joined 32 Below, that like they're an original band also.
Okay.
They've been putting out music for a long time. They were formed in 2001, and I took over in 2012. And so right out of the gate when I joined, we're like, we need to put out music with me as the front man. And so
Okay.
that's kind of when I really started writing a lot.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. And I've been writing ever since. So since
How's it
2012, I've been writing a lot, I
how
would
is
say.
it different when you're writing like when you're the front man of a group writing versus now? Or let's go back.
Yeah.
How did that happen when you decided, okay, I'm in 32 Below, I've been here for years, now I'm going to go do my own thing?
Yeah.
Because
So
I know that could be a big crossroad. I don't know, but people may just want to stay where they're comfortable and keep doing it, or maybe they say, "Hey, I want to strike out on my own and try it."
yeah. So I'm glad you asked that because there's in a band like it's a democracy, right? Everyone
Hmm.
was partners, and
Yeah.
then and some of that evolves over time to where not everyone's a partner and whatever. And but the important part for me personally was that I felt like I wasn't growing anymore in
Okay.
the group.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of felt like I was at a plateau, like I couldn't do anything else where I was with that group.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Brittany and I talked about it at length, like over 6 months to a year, of like kind of in limbo,
Hmm.
like, what should I do?
Hmm.
And we finally decided it's like, we've been doing this for a long time. Like, you got to do you got to give yourself a shot,
Oh, I love that.
and
Give yourself a shot. That's great.
ever since we had that conversation, it was like, no one's gonna, no one's gonna make me who I am other than me, right? So I was like, I got to just take control in my own hands, and if I fail, it's my fault. If I succeed, it's my fault, right? Like it's on me. So
Love
I
that.
like the responsibility of not having to, I don't know, rely on other people for my
Hmm.
own success
Hmm.
or demise. you know,
Yeah.
uh, um, I don't know. So
But that's I love the way you put it, and that's part of just growing. And growing as an artist and a creative and saying, "Hey, I've been doing this. I loved it. Loved the experience. Loved the people I was working with."
hmm
And just being able to see that, "Hey, now I want to go try this just to get out there." Because
yeah,
I think it takes often, I don't know, give me what you think about this. So often it takes us so getting out of our comfort zone
yeah,
to get out there and push ourselves. And that's the one thing I think we're all scared of. We all want to be in our comfort zone. But I've just learned
yeah,
in life you can't grow and you can't do something new without trying. And if you fail, okay,
yeah,
like just try again, do it differently.
yeah. I mean, I
So I
can't
love
add
that
to that.
that's
I
a
think
big
that's
chance
a
to
good way to
take.
say it. Yeah, yeah. And you don't know unless you try it, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'd hate to be that guy, like, oh, what if I did this instead, and then never
Yeah.
know if because I didn't try it.
Yeah. Okay. So you decided to try it.
Yeah,
Big crossroad. You said, "Hey, all right."
yeah. And then we started grinding and writing songs. The first couple years I was coming every two. I've been coming every 2 weeks since 2001, um, and then plus shows. So I only know this because of taxes. We have to file like how many days you're on the road to deductions
Oh,
for per diem and things like that.
yeah.
Uh, and I think the first 2 years of me coming to Nashville, it was like 220 days on the road. So uh,
Wow.
whether that was being here 2 weeks, a month,
Mhm.
but that in addition to shows, so some months I would be gone for 16, 17, 18 days, which was really tough. But
Yeah, and you're
we were
doing it by
hustling.
yourself.
hmm Yeah, just me and my
I
little
mean,
van, and all my merch and my PA and my guitars.
that's incredible. Well, I'm so glad you did because
No, thank you.
your songs are amazing, and if you
Thanks.
hadn't been doing all that, then you wouldn't be who you are today. But
That's
I
true.
know that's got to be and I'm trying to calculate in my head real fast, which I don't do well, but that's before we had all the ways to communicate. So y'all probably, I mean, that's a lot, and that's a lot of dedication on her part too
Yeah, and it was
to support you.
FaceTimes every night. I'd be get home and it would be and the other thing too. I would write all day, but then I would go out not to party, but to go do writers rounds or meet people and all the stuff that you do. And so sometimes I
Yeah.
wouldn't get to the house here until 10:30, 11, and we'd FaceTime, and she'd have to work in the morning, and
Mm,
we'd FaceTime for an hour or so, and yeah, a lot of good memories from that
that's
portion of
sweet.
life.
Yeah. So then fast forward
Yeah.
and
So yeah, we so in
how did okay, so you both how did she get here? Because I think that's a really cool part of the story
yeah.
too, of just finally going, "Hey, this is who we are and what we're doing."
So we'd been talking about it for a while because the 2 week a month thing was kind of getting harder as time goes on.
Because y'all were married, right? Or
Yeah,
were you not
yep,
married
no,
yet?
yeah, we've been
I'm trying
married
to keep it
since
straight.
2000. I'm
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
2015 is when we got married.
Sorry.
uh, so we've been married 10 years now, 10 and a half years. And we've been talking about it for the last couple of years. Well, we moved here full time in April last year.
Okay.
Uh, and then,
I forgot it was that short of a time ago.
yeah. She found well, and I guess we should back up a little bit before that. We had plans on moving, you know,
Mhm.
paying off debt, doing all the stuff, right? Getting in a good financial spot. And we did all that. And then we got pregnant, which was a miracle.
Mm.
Because we've been trying for 9 years. And so once that happened, we were like, oh shoot, now what? Like we're still gonna go, but now like
Yeah.
how we're going is a little different. So
Uh-huh.
we waited another because we didn't want to move in the middle of her being pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to
Yeah.
have her be comfortable, like, and not have to worry about moving our life somewhere else. Uh, so Maisie was born in October of 2024, and we moved April of last year. So we took a few months to kind of like,
Get adjusted.
yeah, like what do we do with this baby? How do we
It's a
feed?
big
Like, yeah,
that's a big adjustment. And by the
yeah,
way, Maisie's adorable.
yeah. We had lunch. That's
Yes, we
right.
did.
She's
She's
a bright
adorable.
redhead.
I know. There was part of me that wanted to say, "Hey, bring her and I'll just sit here with her while we do this." And then I thought, that probably wouldn't work out well. But I
She
did
loves
want
the
to see her
camera. She
again.
says
Yeah.
cheese when she sees the phone
She's
come out. She
adorable.
goes cheese. But
I love it. So I love that all these years you've been doing this solo gig, going back and forth, playing shows on the way, getting here,
yeah,
playing shows, writing, and going and meeting people, because every conversation that I have had and I do have with people about this town, it is connection, it's friendship, it's meeting people.
yeah,
I'm finding it to be a very small world within a really big world.
yeah,
It is a big world here, but it also, then you start meeting and getting to know people,
hmm,
and then it's like a small world within that. So it's not just coming in playing.
yeah,
And then you have all the marketing and the
yeah.
merch and the things that you're trying to do to bring money in as well.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do a sidebar here. It's really important to support artists and songwriters. So go buy the songs, go buy the merch. That's how they make a living. So
That's true.
thank you for this ad. Um, and I love, though, that y'all came here as a little unit.
Yeah,
Because it would have been sweet for you and Brittany just for her to say, okay, let's do it. We're going to be there. But then I know that I don't know all the details. I know a little bit that it was a long road for y'all.
yeah.
I walked that journey too, and that is a hard road, and especially being apart. I
Hmm.
can't even imagine how much more that affected both of you
Yeah,
emotionally with the 9 years of trying to have a baby. And
yeah,
so that's really sweet. That's
yeah.
like you should write a song about that.
Well, you'll hear it.
Like new beginning, like
Yeah,
just picking up and coming and going, here we are. And here's our y'all were a family before, but now you have this
yeah,
sweet little Maisie too.
yeah. It is
So
funny.
I love
We
that.
had a plan of kind of our way of moving out of Fargo before we found out we were gonna have a child was get like a camper van
Oh my
kind of or
gosh.
like
Yeah.
right now I have like a
Yeah.
Ford Transit, like
Uh-huh.
the little one, but we were gonna get a bigger one with like a bed and a fridge and everything, and just like hit the road and like
Yeah.
make Nashville home, like get an apartment or a really small house and then live on the road 2 or 3 weeks a month together.
Uh,
If she could find like a remote, we're like get a remote job and we'll just go all around and uh, I'm sure we could do that with a child, but man, that would be tough.
I do see people on social media who do that, and I'm like, good for you.
Oh
I
man,
don't know how you do it,
yeah.
but so what is that saying? We make our plans and then God laughs.
Mhm.
So there we are. But y'all were flexible. I love that.
Yeah, you figure it out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is such a big part of life. I think we all need permission to just figure it out. Because
Yeah.
sometimes that's all you got. You just have to figure it out as it comes along.
Hmm.
And I am a recovering perfectionist. And so I've always had that mindset of, okay, I can't do it until it's just right. And it's
Yeah.
like doing this new show that I'm doing. I'm like, well, and then I'm like, no,
Yeah.
we're not doing that. We're jumping in and we're doing it. And there we are.
Hmm.
So I think we all need permission for that. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you are living that example.
Yeah.
So tell us about the song. I'm dying to hear what you're going to sing. So Brian's going to do a song that he's written,
Yeah.
and y'all are going to get to hear what it feels like to hear a story behind the song and then get to hear him sing it too.
Yeah. I wrote this song with Brian Sutherland. It's called Better Late Than Never. Um, and it's a tough one, but I'm going to get through it because it's really special. But um, when we found out we were pregnant in January or February of, like early February of 2024, and when we passed the safe zone to like tell people, like
Mhm.
um, we told, all our immediate family, so parents and stuff like that, siblings. And we told my dad, and then 3 weeks later, he passed away.
Mm.
Of all days, on my birthday, which is, it sounds selfish that part doesn't make me upset. I'm not upset about any of it. It's actually kind of a beautiful story when I tell it. But uh, so we went to go visit him on March 7th, and he was in and out of consciousness all day. And at one point, he came to and saw Brittany and lit up because he realized that she was pregnant, right?
Oh, wow.
And he reached out and got to hold Brittany's belly.
Oh my gosh.
The coolest moment ever.
I love that. It's
Yeah,
so
so-
hard. I don't mean,
But
you know what I mean. That's
it was
amazing.
so sad at the moment, at that time before that moment happened, but I get to think about that every day
Mm.
on my birthday going forward, which is like the greatest gift. So yeah, I wrote a
Okay.
song about that.
Yes, you
about
did.
how that's one part of the song, but it's a song called Better Late Than Never. And the reason I talked about my dad in this song is because he took his whole life to become a grandpa, was the whole idea. It took me 9 years to propose to Brittany, and it took us 9 years to have Maisie. So
So that's one of the
Yeah.
songs I had on my list for you that I didn't tell you about that I've listened to and made me cry.
yeah, I love that. I love that song.
And here
It's my favorite song.
and here's part of it to the whole sharing of the infertility journey, but also when my dad died almost 20 years ago, we had to have his funeral on my birthday. And
Yeah.
at the time, I was trying to be a big girl, and like there were some family things that we just had to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, suck it up. This is just how it has to be.
Yeah.
And it, like, inside I was devastated by it, but it has now become, it's been years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you're already there. Sounds like it's now a really special day. I'm like, okay, you know
Yeah.
what? This is something that I get to share with him. And I'm
Mhm.
turning it in. I've tried to turn it into more of a beautiful memory that I share with him. So I'm
Yeah.
so sorry that it was on your birthday and all the things, but I love that he knew that after
Yeah.
your struggle that he was going to be, and he is, a grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're going to be a dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for sharing your heart in
Yeah.
the
Thank you for letting me
song.
tell the story.
Thank you for telling the story, and I can't wait to hear it. And so I just want to say thanks so much for being here, y'all. Go check out Brian, and I'll have everything tagged. But I just appreciate you being here so much, and can't wait to hear the song.
Thanks for having me. Barely had $100 in the bank. Borrowed Ford to pick you up on that first day. We laughed about it on our wedding day. We made it, babe, just took the long way. The kind of night that's worth the wait. Better late than never, I'd say. All them shower invites, it was getting tough. At some point it seems like it's all too much. Almost a decade of not feeling like enough. Thought maybe we weren't meant to make that kind of love. And 2 pink lines are worth the wait. Better late than never, you'd say. We all try to take control of things that we're not meant to. It's easy to tell somebody to be patient, but not when it's your own damn situation. Can't change what'll happen anyway. Oh, it's worth the wait. Better late than never, I'd say. The day that I turned 38, you could see that smile come across his face, 'cause he saved up a couple more heartbeats so he could hold our little everything. Love like that is worth the wait. Better late than never, he'd say. We all try to take control of things that we're not meant to. It's easy to tell somebody to be patient, but not when it's your own damn situation. Can't change what'll happen anyway. Oh, it's worth the wait. Oh, it's worth the wait. Oh, it's worth the wait. Better late than never, I'd say. Yeah. Thanks.
Wow. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that one.
Appreciate it.